In the meantime, obviously, you got a big fight, UFC 279. I know this is a fight. You said, listen, it's not necessarily the fight I wanted. Does that make it any more challenging to prepare for than any other fight in your career, knowing it's not one you necessarily wanted?
Yeah, for sure. So I give up on preparing. I'm just like, whatever. Beat me.
Khamzat, I mean, what do you think of him as a fighter? I mean, have you watched much tape? I mean, have you seen much of his game? Obviously, I'm sure you hear the hype around him, but do you think he's deserving of it?
I think that I've been stuck in the cage for a long time, and I got to do what I got to do to get the out. Whether it fight the toughest guy, the newest guy, whatever you want to make of him or call him, or anybody, I'm like, I'm just ready to rock and roll.
Nice. Last thing for me, Nate, obviously all the talk is about your contract. We know, this is the last one. So I just wonder, regardless of the result, how do you decide what's next? Is it only about, money? Is it just about the amount of money on a check coming from somewhere? Or is there something else you want in the next phase of your career, whether it be you still with the UFC or somewhere else?
I feel like the UFC, it's kind of limited for me, and I wanted to reach fucking higher goals, higher objectives, and do bigger stuff than this. And under the UFC umbrella, it's like you're, like I said, you're limited. You only go so far, and like I said, it's only halftime show. It's time to blow past everybody here and the organization, and even if it involved in me staying in or getting out, I'm gonna do something bigger than I've ever done as soon as this is done. Bigger than this, bigger than whatever's in the past also.
Nate, if you could see one change in the UFC, what would it be? If you could implement one change and you could see something change about the company, what would it be?
I don't.
There's been some talk about you and Jake Paul. Is that something you're interested in, or are you just sort of, that doesn't matter until after Saturday?
I think I've heard a lot about a lot of stuff, and whatever comes after this, like I said, it's going to be bigger than anything I've ever done.
Are you interested in his fight with Anderson?
I'm interested in all combat.
How do you see that fight between Jake and Anderson playing out, given Anderson's age and Jake Paul's age?
I see it going a lot of different ways. I think Anderson is for sure. I didn't like when he fought Cesar Chavez Jr. and they were talking like I think it might have been the organization they were fighting under or whatever, but they were talking like all surprised that Anderson was beating Chavez Jr. I respected Chavez Jr. and Senior and all the boxing, but I was like, why are they talking like it's surprising? And what do they call the analysts when the fight was happening? I thought, why are they acting like they're surprised Anderson Silva was doing good. It's like, what do you even think Chavez Jr. is doing in there with Anderson Silva? So they considered him the GOAT in the UFC for a long time, and there was no appreciation for that, and I thought that was stupid, and I think they'd be stupid if they're trying to count him out at all in this fight. But I also see that Jake Paul could win and do well too. He's young, motivated, strong, inspired to box dude, so I think it makes for an interesting fight.
Nate, just back here. So I'm curious about your thoughts on the outcome of UFC 278 at Vivint Arena in Salt Lake City. I know you went 5 rounds with Leon Edwards and damn near beat him in that final round. What do you think of Leon's performance in that fight?
I thought the fight was going to go like that, either or a decision win for Usman or a finish by Leon. So Yeah, did a good job, good fight.
What do you think of Kamaru Usman's performance?
I feel like whatever he was doing, he was doing a good job, and it looked like any other fight he had, right?
Okay. And looking at your next opponent, do you think you have the weapons to beat him?
Yeah.
Nate Diaz said some interesting things there, but what stood out to me was when he said the UFC has limited him, and he said he wanted to reach higher goals and do bigger things, something he's never done before. I wonder what that is. He also said the UFC uses him to promote the new and up-and-coming fighters. In this fight, he said he's going against the entire organization, and this is his last contract. UFC 279 could be his last fight. But like always, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Will this be Nate Diaz's last fight with the UFC? And leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more content just like this. And I will see you in the next upload.